Not only did our president and vice president shred Zelensky today in the Oval Office, they became an embarrassment to Americans. And to add to that, one of the reporters in the audience literally asked Zelensky, "Why don't you wear a suit?" I mean, the disrespect today was so disgusting. But Zelensky, of course, replied with, "I'll put the costume on when the war is over."
Welcome back to the channel. So, a lot of Americans have mixed reviews on Trump and Zelensky's back and forth recently. Many feeling like Trump embarrassed America, and many others feeling like Trump showed strength that past presidents haven't. Let's dive into it.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, you have problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such. I will wear a costume after this war will finish. Yes, maybe something like yours. Yes, maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper.
This man is fighting for his country. A sovereign nation got invaded. His people are dying. And this mother talks about him wearing a suit. I hate this country. I've never in my life felt like I do right now. I don't give a what he wears. This man has been respectful to every leader in the world. Everybody. And you clowns want to do that to him when he comes over here. And then talk to him like and kick him out of the White House. You disgraceful son of a bitch. Man, I just want to be next to Zelensky right now.
Grown men, some of them, crying and saying what a disgrace it was how Zelensky was treated yesterday at the White House and what a disgrace America is. Really? Oh no, I beg to differ. You know what's a disgrace? The fact that our country has been taken advantage of for years now. And what's not a disgrace is that we finally have a president that is putting his foot down and has a strong vice president standing behind him who has his back. That's what's not a disgrace. You're picking up for somebody that has gotten billions of our tax dollars, gets to float around on yachts that we paid for, gets invited to fancy celebrity parties, is on the cover of Vanity Fair and Vogue. That's what you're upset about? That person? Really? Well, it doesn't shock me because we've all seen who you support and what you support, and it's not America.
It's hilarious. I saw this lady in London. She was like, I have never in my life seen anything like this. Let me tell you something. That's exactly how my dad talked to us. Zelensky reminded me of myself, of my teenage self, when I would show him my report card and I got a D. And I'm like, hey, Dad, hey, can I get the keys and get some money? So I'd go out with my friends. And my dad would me down. That's exactly what Trump did to Zelensky. You know, coming in here asking for $350 billion to play war with Russia, and then wants to come in and disrespect us in our house. Get out of here. That was my dad. Trump was my dad from my teenage years. There's no question about it. But please, all these Democrats getting out here with their fake reactions and everything, man, the Gen X generation's like, yep, that was my parents.
Every single person, every single generation other than Gen X right now is freaking out about this exchange that happened today between Zelensky and Trump. I don't know where we went wrong as Americans to ever think that this was okay. Meaning, like, the way that Zelensky came into our home, which is the White House, and act a fool when he had 0 cards to play in this. And this man right here, art of the deal. He is a New York City businessman, has been in some of the hardest negotiation rooms. And this guy right here is thinking that he's just going to come in and tell them what they're going to do. No. You might have gotten away with that when Biden and Obama were in office, but not Mr. Trump. And the way that the left actually felt, or the way that they have their complete meltdown right now, I thought it was going to walk into this really awkward moment. This wasn't awkward at all. This was my childhood, except I had enough sense to not do what Zelensky did to Trump.
Why don't you ever wear a suit? We always see you dressed like this.
You got a problem with what I got on?
I mean, yeah, a lot of Americans have a problem with it because you're the highest.
So y'all got a problem. Let me ask you something. You ever been to war?
Yeah, we've been to war a couple.
You personally, you ever been to war?
No, sir.
Nah?
No, I have not been
to me. I ain't wearing shit. I ain't put on no kind of costume until that shit over with. When I leave here, I'm going back. I put that bulletproof vest on. I'm going back out there on the front lines. What you doing when you leave here? Huh? You going home? Kiss your wife? Watch a little TV? Yeah, that's what the I thought. Shut up.
Zelensky was named Time Person of the Year. The Ukrainian Spirit was named Time Person of the Year. I believe this is a first major chip in the foundation of this administration.
So let me get this straight. We gave Zelensky $250 billion, half of which he cannot account for. We gave him military equipment on top of that. The guy wants another $250 billion. In the meantime, he buys a ski resort cash worth $90 million in France. People are saying he has $1 billion in the bank. Man, the math just doesn't add up.
Go to that closet. You know the one where you have hats hanging that you haven't worn in years, and crafts that you're never going to finish, and clothes that you're holding on to just in case. Clean it out. And then go wherever you have to go. It doesn't matter. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Walmart, whatever. No judgment. Go get canned goods. Go get bottled water. Get some water straws. Get a bathtub bladder. Get small bills. Get a way to protect yourself. Then find 10, 20 people, whatever you need to create community, and buy a dehydrator. And then 20, 30 people to buy a freeze dry machine, whatever you need. Start building community. Because having the food that you need is a form of resistance. It's not just protection, it's a form of resistance. Think of it as insurance. This is not us overreacting. This is not us panicking. This is us preparing and talking to each other. Because we cannot rely on our leaders to do the right thing for its citizens. They are making very clear that they plan to be the world's bullies and offer their citizens nothing. There's an insidiousness to what's happening. And if you're paying attention, it has nothing to do with reconciling a budget and everything to do with creating a classist system that ensures that we are desperate and holding our hands out for crumbs. But when we prepare, we are empowered. And the way we are empowered is by creating community. That's just the start. No different than life insurance.
People thought he was great. You people thought he was great before Trump took office. Now Trump takes office. He says he's a dictator. You guys go with it. Listen. If we thought Trump was standing up for us, we would be all for it. We really would be. Because we have nothing else to lose. Do you understand what I'm saying? Trump is not standing up for the American people. He's standing up for himself. And you guys are taken by him. And you think that he's going to make your life better. Zelensky is more of a man than he will ever be. And you can call me a liberal, you can call me whatever the you want, I don't care. I am just a human being on the internet. And if you don't believe me, look up World Talk. Check it out. See what the rest of the world is saying about him. Okay? Just go look. You know, you guys like to spew all this hate and liberals this and liberals that. I mean, really, it's getting exhausting and annoying.
This is the frustration. This meeting was about peace. To come up with a peace plan for Ukraine not to get absolutely destroyed by Russia. He had one thing, to bring a plan for peace. And that was the meeting was about. Instead, he came in, threw that idea off the table, and said, hey, look, we need US troops, we need more money, and we need more of your help. He doesn't want to stop the war. He wants to continue the war. And the whole time, when the US is trying to tell him how things are going, he's going to get, basically annihilated. He's crossing his arms, rolling his eyes, snickering, and actually at one point, they caught this on camera, he said Vance under his breath when Vance was explaining things to him. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, is what people say, right? This is a great example of that. Because the only reason that Ukraine has lasted as long as it has is because of US support. US funding and US weapons. Without that, they would have got rolled through. Who's going to help them? Europe isn't. That's not going to stop Russia. Come on, Russia is one of the top 3 superpowers. Now, keep that in mind, because when J.D. Vance said that he had a manpower issue, Zelensky said, what manpower? Have you been to Ukraine to know what issues we have or don't have? Listen, you don't have to go there to understand you have a manpower issue against Russia. Russia is one of the top 3 superpowers with a humongous military compared to a little country like Ukraine. Listen, in your front line, men die every single day. A lot of men. And yeah, Russians die too, but to them, it's just a little drop in the pool because their military is so big compared to yours. So yes, you do have a manpower issues. If you didn't, you wouldn't be asking for US troops, US boots to be in Ukraine to help you fight the war that for some reason you want to continue instead of stopping it and saving your people that you have left.
I have no words. Don't be concerned that I'm driving. I'm being incredibly safe. I can't process what I just witnessed. I mean, I had an incredibly challenging week at school. This is what I do for a living. I'm proud to give everything I have each and every day. And I'm excited about the weekend. I come home and my wife has her head in her hands. The TV is paused. It's been paused for like 30 minutes because Donald Trump has just embarrassed us, not just as Americans, but as a nation. I mean, what I just witnessed, I'm having trouble processing, and I'm sure you are as well. Volodymyr Zelensky is a man of immense integrity, a man of immense decency. The sacrifices that he has made, the sacrifices that the Ukrainian people have made, the sacrifices that the Ukrainian military are still making right now. I mean, there are soldiers dying right now as we speak, not just defending their sovereignty, but their very democracy. And to watch the ambush that Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance just tried to inflict and unleash on Volodymyr Zelensky, and thank God he is such a person of immense integrity, he didn't sit there and take it. No, he's even more credible than he ever was. And sadly, can Donald Trump be even more of a...
Zelensky thought he was going to get a big old fat chick. Instead, he got a big old fat reality chick come in there with his hand out. Put it right here. The Biden administration did it. You should do it too. Trump was like, nope, it ain't happening. Not this time, buddy. Either you want peace or you don't. You know what I mean? That's what Trump was saying, like, we're not, this is it. We want peace. No more war. And looks like he's going to sign what Trump offered him, you know what I mean? We got to recruit some of our money too. get some of the mineral rights. So he was all dressed in black, couldn't even wear a suit, like he was some head of the military. He ain't fooling no one. I tell you, I think he was an actor or something before. Seen some of those videos, him prancing around like a fairy. Anyway, but yeah, it didn't work out like he thought it was gonna work out. Not at all.
Zelensky manhandled both of those guys. He made Trump and J.D. Vance look like a couple of petulant bedwetting toddlers.
I think that, we have a lot of people here in the United States who are putting the Ukrainian flag in their bio and making it part of their identity. And what President Trump ran on was America First agenda. And I think that after the past 4 years, we saw a president here in the United States who was in a mental cognitive decline. He was never really out without being severely scripted in a public setting. He was unavailable to the American people. And what we have given as Americans is billions of dollars to the Ukrainian people to fight this war.
Thought I was watching a sitcom. The way that Trump and JD are speaking is crazy to me. And I just wanted to pop on and make this video real quick. And I just want to talk to the Ukrainian people of the world and let you know that what Trump and JD are saying is not how the rest of us feel. I know I can speak for myself and most people around me when I say we, the American people, are so sorry that you are experiencing all of this and that you have to deal with Trump just as much as we do. But we support you and we are doing what we can to help you guys.
Now that everybody has seen the clip of Zelensky walking into the Oval Office being 100% disrespectful to J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, everybody's putting out videos, and I'm here to tell you the top 10 comments that just made my heart smile. Number 1, America's bank is closed. Number 2, Zelensky came for a paycheck and left with a reality check. Number 3, walked into the Oval Office and got met with the president with an actual backbone. Number 4, there's a new sheriff in town. Number 5, Trump and Vance sent Zelensky to timeout. Number 6, true leaders, true men, true heroes. It's about time. Number 7, Zelensky got sent to his room without dinner. Number 8, Zelensky walked into the Oval Office, thought he was going to be met with a puppet and got met with a pit bull instead. Number 9, it's about time the adults are back in charge. And number 10, America first, baby. Finally.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. I'm sorry that we failed to get someone in office that actually cares and doesn't support the kind of authoritarianism that exists in this country, in this world. And as much as those of us here that are still fighting and will continue to fight against what is going on, would love to have your continued support, we also understand that you guys have to take care of yourself, your people, your countries first. The childishness that I saw today in the Oval Office, in the meeting between Vance and Trump and President Zelensky, was abhorrent. It was an example of what a child would do, what a bully would do, not a leader. Obviously, the future is unknown, and none of us truly know what will happen because of this administration. But I hope one day we can become friends and allies like we used to be.
We are witnessing some unbelievable new levels of cope from Republicans who are saying anything to try and defend Donald Trump's failure of a meeting with President Zelensky of Ukraine. Take a look at what Republican influencer Patrick Bet David had to say. This genius says, "I'd be willing to bet that 80% of Zelensky supporters do so simply for their hate towards Trump. It has nothing to do with Ukraine." Do you really want to play that game, Patrick? I'd be willing to bet that 100% of Trump supporters hate Ukraine purely because they hate Joe Biden. But let's take it a step further. I'd be willing to bet that 95% of Trump supporters can't even point out Ukraine on a map. As a matter of fact, I bet you personally $1,000 that if we took the combined median IQ of every single Trump supporter and put that against the rest of America, we would win. From now on, I don't want to hear political opinions from people who have no idea what they're talking about. Patrick Bet David, you are not a real patriot, my brother.
So my dad is MAGA, and I'm obviously not. And we are very close. And the last, 6 months to a year have been really hard. Right. Because he's been defending and defending and defending. And I've had to dig really, really deep, spending time with him, knowing how he feels and what he supports. And it was sort of okay because it wasn't so blatant. And then after the Zelensky meeting yesterday, the embarrassment, the shock, the shame. And I woke up this morning in tears as soon as I woke up, because I realized that for me, that was the straw. That was the swan song. And I think I have to end my relationship with my dad. I can't. Because if he can watch the things he's been seeing, assuming that he's actually seeing the truth, and not just watching one station that feeds him the information he wants. But if he can see all that's been going on, the taking away of human rights, the hatred, the isolation, the dictatorship, all of the things, if he can have seen all of that and still support that, that means that he is not a good human being. And I can't have him in my life. I can't. And so I woke up this morning thinking to myself, how am I going to do this? Because I'm very, very close to my mom. And I'm pretty sure that she would prefer to be on the blue side, but she needs to keep peace in her home. I mean, she's in her 80s. And I understand that. But she will defend him, and she will tell me that if I don't have contact with him, I can't have contact with her. But I can't continue, because every time I'm with him, I get a feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I feel sick. Because he's somebody who didn't believe that January 6th was a bad thing or that police officers were hurt. When I asked him about it, I said, you're so pro police officer. I said, 5, 6 of them died. Well, what are you talking about? And I said, what about the one that was beaten? And he said, he had a stroke. And I said, he had a stroke because they beat the shit out of him. And he just can't get there. And so I just realized that if he can see all of the things, and if he could look at yesterday and think that is defensible and not think it's disgraceful and disgusting, that can only mean that he's not a good person. And I can't be around him.
Trump and Vance were acting how I act when I get in an argument with my man and I'm losing, and I start acting childish and I just start saying anything and raising my voice because I'm losing. And I'm like, well, you don't even do this for me no more. You don't even do that for me no more, because I don't have nothing to say about what he said because I'm losing. Like,
I thought he was just coming here to sign his little peace deal and move on. That is not the case. They are arguing. Zelensky does not want to stop the war. You know why he doesn't want to stop the war? Because war makes money for him and his pockets. So it's pretty interesting. I've seen that video about 20 times, and I'm gonna watch it every time because it never gets old.
Zelensky is literally explaining what happened on this meeting. You're saying that he's being disrespectful after everything that Trump said? He does not deserve any respect, and that's it. I know he's my president. He's the president of the United States, but like, come on, bro. Get a grip. Have some respect yourself.
So as y'all can see, it's something new every single day. It's like we're going through different dimensions very quickly, and every day is a new Twilight Zone series. And right now, it's Zelensky and Trump. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell for more. And stay stress-free out there, even though it's kind of hard to.